Oh man, so what a crazy few days it's been, guys. I mean, as we've now entering our third day of these escalating crisis, we can really start to ponder what is going on. And I've just got the chart open here in Bitcoin, and we can go back and look at the 24th of February and how it wicked all the way down to 34,300 and then bounced back, and another strong green day yesterday. What is in store for Bitcoin? What's in store for FANTOM, which has also broken out a trend? I'm going to show you the pattern that FANTOM is forming, and then we're going to decide on what is it we need to do right now in this unprecedented time, given the conflict we've got at hand, because ultimately we're still responsible for making our investment decisions. So make sure you stay tuned till the very end. Make sure you hit that like button, you hit that subscribe button. I'm still here in my hotel room, traveling here on business over the weekend. Got a few clients over, gonna take them to the Manchester United game. But before I give you guys a quick update beforehand, can't leave you guys without the updates. Go check out NordVPN, links in description. Coupon code, oh man, will get you 70% off VPN if you haven't got a VPN yet. Come on, what are you waiting for? Secure your borders, right? It's really important. Your internet privacy, make sure you're secure. We don't know how many bad actors there are. And if one thing we've learned over the last few days, we know even in 2022, people are willing to, do bad things. We have bad actors. We have people out there who, don't want peace, don't want humanity. And that's the challenge we have right now. So, guys, obviously, let's address the elephant in the room. We want peace. We want de-escalation of this conflict. And ultimately, anything we're doing in terms of an investment right now comes secondary to anybody who's having any personal issues right now. Thoughts and prayers out to everybody affected. But, we're an investment channel. We've got to look at our portfolios and manage those. That's what we're doing here on this channel. So make sure you hit the like button, subscribe. Let's take a look at the Bitcoin chart here. On the daily, 2 solid green candles, okay? So you remember the main day, we fell all the way down to 34,300. And then we bounced up to 39,720, okay, on that same day. Crazy wick days. Look at that. Bottom of the wicks here. Top of the wick is up here. Crazy. Then yesterday was in a very interesting day as well. We had a low of 38,000, but a high again of 39,716. So similar levels here. We couldn't quite break 40. But today we did on this daily candle, okay, which has still got another 13 hours left of today's daily candle. We've already had a crazy volatile day, and this is weekend. It's on low volume, so you have to take it with a pinch of salt. But we've already had a day as low as 30 today. We've been as low as 38,592 and as high as 40,300. So we broke the 40,000 mark. Very interesting. Good strength here from Bitcoin. Yes, we can look at the chart patterns and look at the technicals, but right now it's just about looking at how it behaves. And what is crazy is in the peak of the uncertainty here on this day was how it plunged and then the dip was bought. It shows a lot of buying pressure, and it shows that a lot of people, not just lay people like us guys, these are institutions, these are people who are used to conflict, they're used to trading portfolios. It's not like suddenly when conflict happens that high net worth individuals and hedge fund managers and institutions suddenly stop investing. They know what they're doing, and I guarantee when the disclosures come out, we will find out that a lot of people and hedge funds and ETFs were trading heavily in the last 2 days, okay? So it might not sound fun, and yes, including me, I got absorbed in the news. I was watching hours and hours of news and maybe not really looking at the markets, but that's when they were aping in. Trust me, guys. Trust me. You will see that as a disclosure because that's what they're good at. It's about when everybody capitulates, when everybody's feeling at their worst and things are down, that's when these capitalists come in and start buying that dip, right? That's when they know, okay, this is the bottom here. We need to learn how to do that as well, right? This is how we need to train our psychology to say, okay, yes, my heart goes out in this situation, but if I'm in a safe environment and I'm investing and I've got to take care of number one, me and my family, then I need to place my investments. And yes, I'm fearful. All these things are going on. I'm upset for my friends and family affected, but I'm going to take out my phone. I'm going to buy the dip, nibble, on these positions because we're at peak fear right now. Everybody's freaking out. Everybody's watching the news. Everybody's worried. And generally when that happens, that is one of the low points given the context of where we're going to go over the next 3 to 4 or 5 years, right? That's how we have to think. Yes, immediately there's still more downside risk, right? Yes, we can look at the chart patterns, I can show you whatever, but it's very easy that we can do something like this here in Bitcoin. There's no reason why we can't, right? It can happen. If Ukraine is taken over and a puppet government installed and then Russia decides to pick on another country, then what do you think is going to happen? We're going to see further escalations and crisis. So we're in an unknown situation. We don't know what's going on. We don't know how many other countries can get affected by this. Right now, it is isolated, right? Where it's not. It's isolated in terms of the physical combat. But in terms of the Cold War already, it started. We've got sanctions. We've got countries arming. So, my country here in the UK, we're affected, right? We're affected because our politicians are spending time on this. They're spending taxpayer money on this. They're sending arms. They're part of it. They're doing the sanctions, which sanctions always backfire on the citizens of the country we're in. And so we know how that feels, right? And even for the Russian people, any Russians watching this video, you guys are affected too. You're not the politicians. You didn't make these decisions. And I know that because I live in a country which went into Iraq, Syria, Libya, Afghanistan, right? We know that we're affected because we are the taxpayers and we end up paying for that. And these are things we actively try to vote against, but governments have their own way of doing things. So anyway, that's something we have to watch out for, is this can continue to escalate, and we have to be very, very alert to nibbling. And that's why I'm using the word nibbling right now, is because I'm not gonna time any bottom here, guys. Okay, just, you know me by now. Anybody's watching these channels, anybody's watching these videos, you guys know that I'm not in for making rush decisions. Very slow, methodical decisions. Right now, we could see further downside. So if I'm buying the dip, I'm nibbling. Okay, I'm not going all in. If I've got 10 grand to put in, I'm putting one at a time. Nice and patient, just seeing how this plays out over the next 10 days. We'll get much more information within the next 10 days. And don't forget, you've got the FOMC meeting still in the backlight of this on the 16th of March. Very important. And my view on this FOMC meeting is I think the Fed will struggle to do a double rate hike. I think the market has now priced it, where I can see from the tools. The market and the CME futures have priced in 1 basis point hike. Before, we had about 0.5, even 0.75 being priced into the market. Now the market's reversed that. That's why the market's holding up quite strong. Because one of the reasons, and if I just flick over to this, you can see the Dow Jones climbed 800 points in its best day since late 2020's investors weighed latest on Russia. 1.64 up on the Nasdaq, S&P up 2.24, and Dow Jones 2.5% up. Why do we think this is happening? That it's not happening because we're in a better situation. We're not. But what they understand is, given the backdrop of this conflict, the markets are now understanding that we're very unlikely to get that 1% interest rate hike. We're very now unlikely to get 0.75. And they're even starting to price in the fact that we're not going to get 0.5, it's 0.25. So we have to be cautious, right? Because yes, I think that's going to be the case as well. But we can't lay all our eggs in that basket, right? What if Jerome Powell does come out and say, I'm still doing a double rate hike, right? That can then spook markets, because markets not priced it in anymore. Okay, very important. So when we all that time we were pricing in high interest rate hikes. Now they've started to unwind that, which is why the market's propping itself up. Very important that you understand that, guys. Rewind that, watch that again. If I've not explained that properly, hit me up in the Discord. Really important. Okay, looking at the pre-market, still things are looking good, right? These are weekend pre-market, 2.5% on the Dow, 2.25 on S&P. 1.58 here on the Nasdaq. If we look at fear and greed index, we can see we're at 26. Again, not too bad, guys. I know this sounds horrible, but we were in the 11s and 12s when Bitcoin was down at 32, and this is crazy environment we're in right now. From a macroeconomic point of view, in terms of interest rates coming up and the first rate hike lift off, and then obviously given the geopolitical issues going on with Russia and Ukraine. So this is interesting that we're sitting here at 26. It's showing good strength from Bitcoin. Bitcoin is still following the market. It's not, decoupled from the market. It's doing what the market does. Powerful day yesterday for the market, so Bitcoin is reacting well there. How are all our altcoins doing? Let's take a quick look at all of our altcoins before then moving over to FANTOM. You got Bitcoin, decent day here on the weekend. Ethereum moving nicely. Binance fine. Yeah, all our favorite coins are doing all right. Cardano's starting to bounce a little bit, although it's got slapped up quite a lot. Luna, big moves here on Luna, now sitting at 75. Interesting market. Let's get into the FANTOM chart, because I know we need to look at our customary FANTOM chart. And here on FANTOM, we've got a really nice break of trend. Let's go into the hourly, guys, just to see this a little bit clearer. You can see the red trend line we have. Okay, and a big strong move here as Bitcoin started to rally towards 40,000. We saw that FANTOM started to gravitate towards 179. So the good news is we've managed to break this pivot point. We've beaten that, and now we need to beat this one here. Okay, so that's the one sitting at 179 at this level. Very important that we can start holding this level. But what I want to see next is, normally you'll come and get a retest. Okay, so even if you came all the way down here to bounce, that's perfectly fine. But what we can see is we're getting a bounce a little bit sooner. I know it's hourly candles and it's the weekend, but it looks like we're trying to bounce here, which is interesting. Not sure if that's going to be successful and if we're going to actually get that bounce and continue straight up. That would be the best case scenario. But if I was in FANTOM, looking at this at a short-term timescale, I'm looking for a correction to the downside. Just as in, not a correction, just a retest, here of this trend line on the red line. Let's zoom out now, because hourly is only going to tell us so much. And let's look at the daily. And if we're now looking at the daily, we're getting some important level of support coming up, okay? So we saw a peak FUD here on FANTOM. We fell to the bottom of this candle, which sat at 129. Now, this is very interesting. Similar to Bitcoin, Bitcoin held up pretty well, 33, 34 levels. Phantom holding up at 129. And the reason I know that's an interesting level is when Bitcoin fell to 32, Phantom was in about the 115 regions. We had to go all the way down here, if you remember these wicks down here. We didn't have to go test those levels right now. So it looks like what I was talking about for the longest period of time is we're getting that higher low, ever so slightly, but we're getting that higher low. And that means we're keeping the upward trend from a technical perspective. And that is a really good sign here. If we can continue to just even move sideways and keep itself going, as long as we don't have to revisit those 115 levels, that could be a really interesting sign. But I'm not ruling out the 115 levels. If we see something crazy by Russia, mass countries getting involved with military operations and troops, we're going to have to see lower levels. The market will get spooked by that. But as it goes right now, the best thing we need from this conflict is a quick de-escalation, right? A quick de-escalation, a quick removal of troops is the best thing for this market. And then the market can move on because the market just doesn't want uncertainty. And anytime there's war, there's always uncertainty. The first thing you lose in conflict is the truth. And the market hates not knowing what the truth is, okay? So ultimately, we have to be wary. We have to stay safe. We have to protect our investments. You should not, I reiterate, you should not be in any low conviction plays right now. If you've not heeded that warning, guys, you're getting yourself in for a whole world of hurt because these kind of markets can wreck forever some of these weak coins. I've seen it. Like some of these crypto winters and these situations can really wipe out coins to never recovering back to the levels that you think they could recover at. Big coins always do well. The ones that have stood the test of time, they will always do well and they always recover. Those are the ones we need to be in. The high conviction plays, our favorite plays, those are the ones we want to be in, and we only want to be nibbling and dollar cost averaging in on our favorite plays that we want to be holding into the crypto winter. Okay, so take this time, be calm, be rational, evaluate your position, be grateful for the situation you're in if you're in a safe, calm environment, and ultimately just find your positions, be safe in it. If you're nibbling, nibble. If you're not, try to stay away from the news too much. Just watch as much as you need in order to kind of digest the information and make your moves. But not too much where you're just watching the news on repeat, which I was doing on the first day. That is not too healthy. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys are staying safe. Hit up the like button and subscribe if you appreciate this type of content. If you want me to do more live streams of the news with commentary about the markets, let me know in the comments and I can do a few more of those live streams here to update you with the news. I'm going to go to the football game in the freezing cold, so wish me luck. And don't forget to check out NordVPN. Links in the description. Coupon code OLDMAN will get you 70% off of a VPN. Get yourself set up. Absolute no-brainer. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.